Hello, I'm Marie. This is my great assistant, Denise, once again. I've worked for Double Diamond Hill Ranch for a year. I just passed my year recently. I have kind of gradually gone up from being part-time. I had a full-time job prior, and I now work full-time here, so it's pretty awesome. I do a whole bunch of just random things, and I also teach lessons. So Denise has been here for, I think, a little over 2 years now. She had a foal in August, and so she's kind of been put on the back burner since then. She's just been hanging out, taking care of her baby. So now it's time for her to start kind of getting to work and getting in shape a little bit, knocking the dust off. She's helping me learn a lot, so we're just kind of helping each other learn through some things. Right now, today, we're going to work on the sending exercise, which I have done previously. We have worked on it since then. I won't say we're perfect at it, but we're trying. So today, the reason why I want to do the sending exercise is because I want to send her through this doorway right here to my left, and then we'll open up this panel and send her through the gate too, since this is what she'll be used to. She tends to pause when she goes through the fences or the gates, or any of the doors, instead of like just flowing through nicely, or she just walks really, really slow, and it kind of gets on my nerves. So we're gonna try and work through it a little bit. A lot of the time other horses are around her, kind of crowding her space, because she's a mom and everybody loves a mom. So that is not her fault, but other times there won't be any other horses around, and she just kind of like is like lazy. So we're going to work on the sending exercise with her for that. Do you have any questions, Penny? Cool. Any questions, Holly? Cool. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to take her to the doorway. I'm going to drop the lead rope, and I'm going to use my stick as my extension of my arm. I'm not going to tap her, but I'm going to point through the doorway. And then once she goes through, she went pretty far, so I got to yield her a little sooner. It's going to be hard because it's a tight area. And then I'm standing where I have the opening. There we go. She knows how to get it on that side pretty good. Where if she happens to kick out at me or has an issue, I can at least have an escape route. I'm not going to want to stand on the other side of her because she could plow me over and pin me in. All right, good girl. So there's a door on this other side that you might not be able to see. There you go. That she's kind of running into, that's the ruckus that you hear. But luckily, she's so kind as not to be a spaz about it. So I'm going to keep my hand pointed up, add pressure by tapping. She's kind of like, what? The door kind of gets in the way here. You're all right. Good girl. Send, tap if I have to, but she was able and willing to go through. And she knows to get her hind out of the way. That's kind of why she jumps. I've gotten on her about yielding pretty slow. That's why she kind of jumps to the side, because she knows like, oh, I'm supposed to get out of the way. So she's not really liking the door. I think that's why she's kind of hesitating a little bit. So I'm gonna try and come with her a little bit. There we go. Good girl. But she's not stopping through the doorway, so that is what I want. I'm not asking for perfection for her to line up to my shoulder. I would like her to not be so far back. Let down my stick when she starts going. Come on, ma'am. It's hard for her. We're getting all hung up on the door. So I'm gonna try and tap her hind away. Come on. Yield your hind. Come on. See if we send her this way. I trust her that she's not going to be a spaz, so since that door. There we go. Now let's see how she is this way with her not having to face the door. She's still hesitant because she knows what's been going on. Good girl. Good girl. She kind of did a lazy yield. There we go. So we'll kind of step on her tail, tell her to yield her butt to the side. But see how she's lined up with my shoulder? This is where she should be stopping, is right here. On the other side of the doorway, it kind of impedes like some things because it's a little tighter. She's kind of a big girl, so it's a little weird going that way. So I'm not gonna hold her as like accountable as I am on this side because she has more space to be next to me on this side. And then she's still like that stick's length away from me. So she's in like the safe distance. She knows that this is my space, that's her space, and she's respecting it very nicely. So she did really well with that one actually, especially for her face getting stuck on the door. And she is not like, she just kind of was like standing there like, what am I supposed to do? So, yeah, yes. And then I asked, and she was a little hesitant a couple times, but she did really well. So I just kind of give her a little bit of a break. I want her to go through this way, out of the door one more time without hesitation, because the last couple times she's hesitated. And so before I move on to the next one, I want her to not have hesitation. Come on, ma'am. It is shaded in here and light out there, so her eyesight is going to be a little weird. Come on, you gotta go. I'll step kind of in the doorway, see if I can point her out. Every time I think about releasing the pressure, so I'm gonna tap her a little bit, just because. There you go. See, that wasn't so scary. This way, she's totally fine. She's like, I can do this side. The other side is weird, but also is like a weird angle to the way that I have to point to. Let's see. She thought about it a lot better that time. So I feel like that shows that she trusts me enough to where she's not like blowing up in the hesitation. She's just like weary of the doorway. So she trusts me enough to go forward, but just not fully of the doorway. Good girl. There you go. She kind of fixed herself on that one. So let's see how she does on this side. You're all right. Trying to like stand back, but also point through the doorway. There you go.
So you're not even really pulling on her rope, you're more so just pointing instructions for her to follow.
Yeah, so my hand and the pointing is for her to follow it. Exactly. So the pressure is with the stick, and she should come off, like there's a little pressure when I go to point, but it's really, really light pressure. It's not anything like, I'm not yanking her through the door. I'm kind of just guiding her this way. And so then when I point, it adds pressure on the top of her halter. And then I'll tap with the stick because she can see it right here and feel it, like kind of feel it, she knows. And then whenever I need additional pressure, I'll tap behind her, like behind her wither. So usually I don't have to tap behind her wither ever. But for this one, she's kind of hesitating quite a bit. So I'm gonna reach up. And I'm also like hesitant too because I'm in like a weird spot. So when I take When she steps forward, I take the stick away. So she knows like this is what is being asked of her. And I might switch it to the other side because I think my hesitation with where I'm standing makes her more hesitant. I hear a car coming. We'll put our arm down and we won't ask anymore. Okay, there's no more cars coming. So we'll ask, I'll cluck, and now I'll tap the air, and now I'll tap her. And when she takes a step, I'll stop. And then I'll go back to the lighter tapping. Good girl.
And you don't even tap for them.
No.
More so just tap her in general.
Yeah, so we're tapping behind her drive line, so where her cinch is. Maybe I'll bring her over here.
As long as it's behind there, she knows to go.
Yeah, yes. So we did also the circle driving exercise before. And so it's the same as when we are lunging for respect or doing round penning. Behind where the cinch goes or where the girth goes is gas. So that's going to be go. In front is going to be stop. So I'm staying stationary, but she knows that if I tap back here, it means go forward. Yeah. So ideally I wouldn't have to tap her back here, but since she's hesitating so much, I just have to give that extra pressure. And it's not like I'm not whacking her. It's just like literally like a tap, tap, tap. It's very light. And first I'm tapping the air. I'm not even touching her. So I'm giving her that opportunity to choose to go forward first. And then encouraging with the stick. And then of course, like I'm just pointing with my hand first and not using the stick at all. So like when I send her in, I only have to point. But when it's out, it's just a different story for her. So I'm gonna see two things. If I prop that door open just a little bit more, so she has a little bit more space on that side. So then when she comes out, her face isn't right at the door and she'll have less hesitation because the door is what's causing her to hesitate the most. And I'm gonna stand on the other side to see if she'll follow through. Okay, so I'm gonna set my rope up about a 6 length away, and then I want to have it to be like an okay sign, so then when she goes out, she needs a little bit of slack. So I'm going to put my hand up high and point. I'm going to tap. Good girl. Come on. Keep going. She's like looking to me for reassurance, like this is what I'm supposed to do. There you go. Good girl. So then she went out. She was very hesitant, but she still went.
Because I was here too.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just the way the doorway is. Because this way, where it's like nice and open, I mean, not that it's not open on that side, but it doesn't have the blocking of the doorway, which I think just closes her metaphorical door as well. It's like, it's a scary object. And that is exactly why we do the sending exercise. So I'm going to tap. I'm going to tighten up on my lead rope just to add that extra pressure. When she takes a step forward, I'm trying to stop doing the tapping. 2, 3. I have to count to myself out loud, so don't make fun of me. She's thinking about going.
And how many counts did you say before you start giving more pressure?
So it'll be 4 count.
Okay.
Oh, she's got like people walking around. There's other things out there. Where are you going, ma'am? That's not where you're supposed to go. To the grass. She's like, yeah, this was a great opportunity for me to get love and a snack.
Some things you don't forget. Will give her this, others you for that.
So what I like at least here is when she's coming in, she's not pausing. So we're gonna try something really quick, is if she follows me out without hesitation. Because someone's guiding her now. She has no problem. So she knows that the door is not going to eat her for the most part. But when we're sending her, she's having an issue with the door. There you go. So now that hopefully we built up a little confidence with the door, she'll be okay to go out. So we're gonna try it again. Ma'am, you can't have attention. Now's not the time. There we go. Good girl. No treats. So that time I didn't even, I lifted the stick and thought about using it, but I didn't have to. So then just like lunging for respect, we step on her tail to get her to yield her hindquarters. She does pretty good without me having to do it all the time, but and then we were kind of talking about pressure and she didn't want to come. But so when we ask, it's ask with the halter with the point. So it gives that slight pressure when I point up high on her halter. You can kind of see it move. And then if she doesn't go, then I'm going to tap 4 times the air with the stick. And then if she still isn't going, which she was being hesitant, so I just tap behind her drive line on the side of her body that I'm on 4 times. And then if I have to increase the pressure after that 4 times, then I'll tap it a little harder 4 times, and then so on. Most of the time, they don't get to that portion, and I didn't even have to get that far with her, so it was working out for us. So we're gonna try a couple times through this gate right here. Something that she's familiar with the door, but she's much familiar with the gate. So we're gonna close this. So then she doesn't have.
Does she ever have like issues where she just absolutely refused to go through a gate or just stand or pull back? Or
So the question is, does she ever have issues where she stands or pulls back at the gate? She does not have that issue. She just lags through it, and it drives me crazy. Like if I have students coming behind, or like her baby will try and follow her, or other horses will try and follow her, and then she stops at the gate, and then it's like I'm on the other side. So I really can't do anything at that point. I'm gonna close this just a little bit. Yeah, and so I just want her to be, sorry, there's like an in-between of like what I want here. Okay. I just want her to go through the gate without me having to like tug on her. I want her to like just walk through the opening a lot more willingly. So first we'll try it here. It's kind of a tight space, but she knows that there's food out there. Ma'am, you're gonna have plenty of snacks when we're done. So then we're in a kind of a tight spot, so I'm not gonna ask her, obviously she can't, to go all the way. So, but I do want her to avoid the greens, so I'm going to stand in the way a little bit. I didn't think about the grass being over here. Excuse me, ma'am. You've been snacking all day. This is the first thing you've done. Okay, come on, little muncher. Okay, so she's going willingly through the gate. And especially the other way since she wants grass. But now we're gonna make a scenario where it's like what we normally go through. So when I take her out and we're trying to go through the gate, and I stand on this side and send her through, I want her to yield so then I can close the gate. So then she's standing behind me. If anybody else wants to come out of the gate, she is out of the way. She went through a little bit quicker. So then it's kind of more practical to what she does. Just make sure I don't run into you, Holly. So I'm going to try and glue the two together, so to speak. So then we're going to go out of the gate. So now I'm going to pull her. I got to stand by the gate. There we go. To close it. So then she knows, kind of like, she knows the scenario. We go through the gates all the time. So I'm going to open the gate. Ask with my hand. Not towards me, ma'am. Swing that butt just a little bit more. There you go. So now someone else can come through the gate if they need. So I'll practice this with her other times too, but as you know, Zuchi. But at least now she kind of knows the scenario of going quicker without stopping, because she'll stop quite a bit. So I'm going to pull her through and see what she does. See if she's kind of putting two together yet without the stick. No grass. So now if I point, she should come around. So that is like much better than what she's been doing out of the gate. Granted, this is very fresh, so maybe tomorrow might be a different story and we'll have to do it again. So maybe tomorrow I bring the stick with me through the gate and kind of like meld it together in a more realistic fashion of like this is what it's gonna look like. But she didn't stop when we went through the gate. She swung her butt around this time, which is way more than what she normally does. And so that's good enough for me to stop on. This is something that I would revisit like tomorrow with her or the next time that I use her. Make sure I have a handy stick with me to urge her through the gates a little bit more. But as far as this one goes, I'm pretty happy with that. You guys have any other questions? Yeah. I just love Denise. She learns really quick, and I feel like she really tries. Like with the door, she was trying the whole time. It wasn't like she wasn't like backing up really far and really refusing. She just was like, I don't really kind of like this. Like the door is in the way. I mean, yeah, and she does that all the time, and I love that from her. So she's such a good horse. Yeah, well, thank you guys. Thank you. Of course.